My film is about three young Muslims living in Berlin and their struggle with religion, society and their families. Shahada is our testimony of faith. It is, we say, La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. We say, there is no God besides God and Muhammad is his prophet. And by saying this in front of witnesses, we become Muslims.
Are Western audiences that you speak of now able to relate to the struggles of your main characters?
I have to say totally, because we made a choice not to exclude people who want to watch our movies, but to include them and to give, to tell universal stories that are not specifically Muslim or Islamic problems, but problems that work for other cultures, other religions, other people.
In Allahs Augen sind alle Arten der Liebe gut. Es macht ihn erhaben.
In meinem Glauben darf man das nicht. Das hat doch auch gefallen.
Ihre Tochter hat illegal ein Kind abgetrieben.
Gott sieht und Gott straft. Ihr versündigt euch vor Gott, wenn ihr diesem Imam zuhört.
Du musst ihn in den Griff kriegen, sonst...
Was? Hast du den Verstand verloren?
Du hast doch vergessen, vor lauter Offenheit und Toleranz Muslim zu sein.
Wir machen aus dir jetzt einen Muslim. Es gibt keinen Gott außer Gott und Mohammed ist sein Prophet. Schmeckt mir nach.
Nein! Schieß!
It was my favorite so far. I feel really close to it. I come from the Republic of Georgia, so this movie felt culturally, spiritually closest to me, so it made me a little bit emotional. So high ratings, all thumbs up for Shahada.
You know, these days there's a lot of questions, concerns about Islamic culture in the West, in Europe and America. So I think this picture, hopefully, it will help people to understand, or maybe, if not understand, be more curious to know about Islamic culture.
The Green Wave is about the uprising of the Iranian society after the election 2009, and the situation, well, the situation before the elections and after the election. This is all mostly all about what is going on in the film. Because we were not able to go to the country and make some images, we had to find another way to tell the stories behind the uprising. And for that we tried to find, we used blogs which were written by Iranians which are living there and dealing there every day with the situation. And we found very emotional blogs which were telling more or less about the inside of the people. And because blogs are texts, we had to find a way to visualize them. And for that we used animation.
My father always said we are part of a nation that has been searching for its lost voice for 150 years. And he said we've come quite close, we just have to reach out and we'll regain it. His generation often tried but failed time after time. Then it was our turn to try our luck. And for a few weeks, we had the feeling of being as close to our target as never before. Today, when I see the blood-smeared walls, I fear that once again it was nothing more than just an illusion.
Well, I thought it was profoundly upsetting, deeply moving, extraordinarily well done, and very, very sad.
Well, I thought it was very revealing of what's happening now in the Middle East, all over, and it's frightening. It's frightening that they get away with it, and that we here in America are doing nothing.
I found it to be quite depressing, actually, and I'm very glad I came to it. It was fantastic and something that we should be aware of what's going on. I knew there was violence, but it never hits home until you see it, and it was quite eye-opening.
The Life of Fish is about a guy who has been living in Germany for the last 10 years, and he came back to Chile to finish his life, and he attended to a party, and in this party he faces all his past, and he faces his one true love in his life. So the movie talks about what happened with him during this night. It's a love story.
¿Cuánto tiempo que no venía ya este cumpleaños?
Como 10 años.
Como que él no se quisiera ir. Como que estuviera esperando algo. ¿Por qué viniste?
Porque te quería ver.
¿Y qué esperabas encontrar?
Hicimos lo correcto, ¿no? ¿Estáis feliz?
Te llamé.
Te ofrezco empezar de nuevo. Tú, yo. De nuevo.
It's interesting because the movie is in almost real time. The movie happens in one night and in one place, in this party, because I wanted to be very focused in what happened in the story. And how they have this second opportunity, and I didn't want to tell what happened before and what happened after. I wanted to be very focused in these 2 or 3 hours when they meet in the party. So what's the reason why the movie is in one place?
I thought it was overall a good movie. I thought it was a universal story. Everybody wonders about what could have happened with that person that you sort of failed to close the deal with, but. I thought the lead actress was extremely strong.
I think I liked it personally just because I don't care much about Hollywood movies. And secondly, it was a lot of truth in it. And you could see other culture, how they think, how they interact, and how their memories, how they express themselves. These are the things that I'd love to see about independence movies. And I'm glad that we have it in DC.
Well, the Human Resources Manager is about a human resources manager from Jerusalem, from a bakery in Jerusalem, who has a mission. He has to take a body of a dead foreign worker who died in a suicide bomb in Jerusalem back to a native country somewhere in East Europe. And it's a voyage with death in order to rediscover life, I guess, his own life, and maybe the life of the surrounding members of the family. And it's, I guess, I like to say it's a journey from here to here, because it's really about that, although it's a long journey from Jerusalem to, the outskirts of Eastern Europe. So that's more or less what it's about.
באמת היית רוצה להיכנס, היית מביא פרחים. תחזור מתי שאתה רוצה.
תגידי, באמת נראה לך שזה מה שחסר לי עכשיו בחיים, המסע ההשפלה הזה?
מתי הגעת?
תגידי, איפה הקונסול?
אני הקונסול, נעים מאוד. תן לי להסביר לך משהו, אדון ממונה על משאבי אנוש. אתה לא במזרח וגם לא במערב. הילד לא יודע לי משהו. לא, זה משפחה לא בסדר, אני אומרת לך. עכשיו רוצה שנביא את סבתא שלו להלוויה.
אנחנו לוקחים פה וואחד סיבוב. 1,000 קילומטר כדי לעשות את הדבר הנכון.
Did you come here a lot with your mother?
When was the last time I see her?
אני חוזר הביתה.
So I think it's a complex, complicated affair in a way, but I think in the end I'm trying to reach hearts, around the world and minds as well. So it's a kind of never-ending quest in that sense.
It was beautiful. It was very dramatic. It had a lot of depth to it that you might not have expected from a comedy. It was really great to get a look at Israeli culture that you normally don't get to see, especially in mainstream films. I really enjoyed it.
I thought it was good. I thought it was an interesting journey film, a buddy film, if you will, but one that you don't see very often in that it's about death. You know, most buddy films are not about death. So I thought it was interesting, a nice, quirky movie. You know, and I like a lot of Israeli movies. For some reason, they seem to be sort of the new wave of interesting films. I've seen a lot of really good ones recently, and I think this was a good example of an interesting Israeli movie.